All right, subscribers. So, for this one, I have had over the past, several years this thermostat. This is an old Honeywell thermostat. I can't tell if that's upside down. I think it's the right side up. Anyway, I have it on my kitchen table, sitting on a placemat right now. But this is the thermostat that was up when we bought the house. You can see, just take the cover off, and you can see over here it has old mercury based or quicksilver thermostat. So it heats and cools, and then it moves and whatnot. So anyway, and this is the circuit board, or the circuitry that was beneath that, and this was hooked up to the wall. So I as you can obviously see, I took this off, and in preparation to replace it, I thought that when I did that, I had a 5 wires running from the furnace to the thermostat. There were only 4 wires that were hooked up here, but I thought I saw a spare 5th wire that was wrapped around. Anyways, turns out there wasn't, so I didn't have a common wire, and what I'm trying to put in is a smart thermostat, which I'll show you here in a little bit. So couldn't do that. Instead of trying to do an adapter, because my furnace is basically right next to where the thermostat is, it's just running a wire out of the furnace out of the wall of the furnace into the wall of the building, and then through to the hallway where my thermostat's located. So my brother recently upgraded his, he got his whole furnace actually replaced, and he had a programmable thermostat. So that only needs 4 wires. So temporarily I've put that up there. And then as soon as that wire comes, I will go ahead and show you how I replaced it. I'm not an electrician, but this is fairly easy DIY job. Instead of getting an adapter, which would have allowed me to use the 4-line wire and keep it like it is, to get the common wire to provide power to the thermostat, I'm just going to go ahead and replace the whole line, because I would have had to touch all of the places that I'm going to have to touch to do that, and plus it was cheaper and it'll be a more permanent solution. So as I said, I put this thermostat here temporarily, and you can tell I didn't even screw it into the wall. It's just hanging onto the wires. But this is the thermostat I borrowed from my brother, or he let me have. And there's not a whole lot of light out here, so I have a portable light. Anyway, I will do a better job of screwing the new one in when we get that, or when we get the new wire. But you can see back here, I did some patching, just kind of the best of my ability. I had some paint leftovers from when we painted the wall. There were several holes in the wall that needed to be filled from old screw holes. It looks like they've done several different thermostats in this spot over the year, but that one was from like the probably the 50s, maybe possibly the 60s. All right, so I got my cables. They're red, green, blue, white, and orange. I'm going to use the orange as yellow in this process. And so now I'll show you where my furnace is. It's right here. What I'm going to do is turn off the power to the furnace and the AC, and then I'm also going to switch this off over here just to make sure everything's off, and I'll use a tester. You can see over here is where the old wire is running in. I just taped this up just so it kind of hold on there. I'm gonna have to make this hole a little bit bigger for the wire to fit in it. And then there's the hole in the wall right there. So for me, the access panel to my furnace is actually down here, but the wires I need to get to don't go back down to the furnace part. They're up here by the blower motor. So, yep, we're gonna shut the power off and stuff, and then we'll start showing you more. Okay, so I'm just testing it with my tester, which picks up electricity. So there's no electricity in there right now. And then what I'm gonna do is unscrew these. And stop there. Okay, so if you can see in here, oh well, I got the new wiring, but if you can see in here, I have my white, green, red, or I'm sorry, that's the common, which should be blue normally in the wiring. The green, the red, the white, and the yellow, which in my case right now is blue. So those are, I'm going to go ahead and replace those wires with the new ones, and then I will run that wire through. Alright, so I have all of the wiring in the spots. I took my time just to make sure I got the connections as best as I can. Okay, so these are the old wires, which I took off. And if I could show you the other end of this cable, you'll be able to see that they are slightly smaller. So there's the new wires compared to the old wires. It's just a little bit smaller in gauge. So hopefully this will be a better connection, more secure. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to this out from right there. And another thing, I guess, I want to make sure that my AC wires that were already connected to that didn't get unconnected. So I have those in there, and they should be connected well. I'm just looking at it again just to make sure that it does have a good connection. Might yank on it a little bit, but yeah, just take your time, make sure you have good connections everywhere. All right, now I'm gonna pull this out, and then I'm gonna use the end of this wire to actually help feed the other wire through so I can get through that hole. All right, so we pulled it through. I've pulled most of the excess out of the unit. Still left some in there just so it wouldn't pull. I have plenty on this side over here. So I'm going to go ahead and get the unit and start mounting it. And then I'll just pull whatever excess that I have back in. Again, this is my utility closet, so I don't care if it's nice and tight. It should be fine. So here's my Ecobee unit. I've already opened this up because I was going to try and do it. You see I'm right on top of my laundry here because it's near my utility closet. There it is. You see it's upside down because I've already got it. So we're going to grab it out of here. And then this is the portion that we're looking for. It has a little level on it. So we're going to try that to level that up. And then put in the appropriate wires. I do not have an OB wire, just have the common, which is that blue wire, the G, which is green wire, Y, which for us is going to be orange, and the W, which will be white.
Okay, so we got this as level as we could, and it looks like it got a little bit off level when we're putting the wires in. So maybe we can move it around a little bit to. There we go. That's a little bit better. And we've got the wires in. We had to expose a little more of the wiring and then trim the ends. So we're gonna go ahead and put the faceplate on now. So we're putting this on now, and I think you just stick it in there. Should just stick in there. And we don't have the power on yet, so it's not gonna do anything, but we gotta get it in the right way. All right, so it's powered up now. Now we just gotta go through the setup. I also probably need to install the app so we can set it all the way up. And so we'll wait for this to do what it's gonna do and go from there. So we're gonna go ahead and add this in the device. I created an account on an Ecobee. I'm sure you can find a video on how to do that. And I'm gonna add a device. So I'm gonna add my thermostat. Yes, it's installed. I'm gonna scan the QR code. And there we go. It's linked. That was easy. So the type of turn on notification. Sure. Allow. And I don't know why they ask all that information. That seems like a lot of information. I have Duke Energy. And sure. We're going to call it. Oh, it already set it up as my Ecobee. Okay, so that's what it's going to be called. Done. And right now, it is kind of warm in here because I guess it's been just sitting there for a while with everything off. No, I did not use a power extender kit. It's asking me this on the unit itself. And I have this. Okay, so let me just show you this. Go. So you can see what it is. So I did have the red wire, the C, which was on my blue wire, G, which was green. For me, the Y was orange, and then the W was white. So that is correct. I have a furnace in my home. How do you want it to be controlled? I want it to be controlled by the thermostat. I want heat and cool auto. And so now it's letting me set my desired temperature. So right now we really want it around, oh no, this is the heat temperature. So for heat, I'll do it a little bit lower. Like I'm gonna put it at 62 for right now, or 60 for right now. It shouldn't get that low. And my cooling temperature, I want it like 73-ish, and I can change this if I need to. And thinks it's 77. So I want it to cool. I guess I'll kick it down a little bit, see if it'll kick on.
So it ended up working. I hope you all have a great morning, afternoon, evening, night, whatever. Bye.